Dorset to another hill figure. I'm going to stay with
Okay.
another hill figure. This is the other famous hill, well, one of the other famous hill figures from Britain. It's called the Cerne Giant, and it's a bit naughty because the Cerne Giant is a male figure. Is the most obvious thing to say because of a very prominent male
Clearly,
member.
I can't put that up here. I can't put that up here.
It's
That
not
will
my
get
problem.
us.
I don't make the rules. I don't. We have a very prominent. Everyone
Was
can
he?
Google the Cerne Abbas Giant.
Is he the inventor of Viagra?
Well, he actually has got bigger over time. You'll be shocked to hear
Oh, okay. That's
because
not surprising.
most of the way he looks now is from 1908 or 1909. They made him slightly more.
Okay.
They lengthened him. He used to have a belt, and they incorporated his member into his belt and made it
They need
taller.
to put the
And
belt back on.
yeah, I think. Oh, you prudish Americans! You know. But actually, he's world famous and a focus of fun and so on. But people have had different theories over the years about what the Cerne Abbas Giant is. So
Why is his nipples crooked?
isn't everyone that way? I don't know. I don't.
Is that an English trait?
Yes. I'm going to make up a myth now because this will then go viral. Yes, genetically, all English people have. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Lopsided.
Yeah, lopsided nipples. It's a thing.
Oh,
No, I don't
wow.
know.
Okay.
So the people have speculated. Here we go. This is going to be a quick run through. People say it's a prehistoric fertility deity. It's a Roman representation of Hercules, or it's a early modern representation of Hercules, or it's a joke parodying Charles II or James the First. I think James the First. But people haven't known. They haven't known how old it is. It's only first recorded, I think, in the very beginning of the 18th century, and drawn and reported during the mid to late 18th century.
Okay.
And people said, there's also been mad ideas about it. But the fact is, it's recently been excavated and dated, and it is later Anglo-Saxon.
Oh,
So
wow.
it dates to the Christian Anglo-Saxon period. And one idea is that one idea that's just been published by Tom Morecambe and Helen Gittos is that it was originally made to be Hercules as a war monument, as a kind of military landmark for Anglo-Saxon armies, and then later became, if you believe it, a representation of the hermit Saint Edwald, who founded the monastery of Cerne that was immediately below the giant. So the argument is that this is representing St Edwald. Okay, just stay with me. This is what they argue. It's not that I'm
There's so many jokes going through my head that I'm having to contain myself so badly.
as a sort of wild man in the woods with a staff, and the miracle of St Edwald is that he planted his staff. No sniggering. Planted his staff, and it turned into a tree. A miracle that it turned into a tree. And so maybe what we're looking at here is a representation of St Edwald. So it was originally intended to be Hercules, because Hercules, long after the Roman period, was included on Germanic art. The Franks, the Saxons, they loved Hercules as a legendary figure, and then later became St Edwald. But you can take that or leave that. I'm not sure. I did a YouTube video about it where I went through the article, and I was convinced half the time and unconvinced other times. So, but we're still trying to work out what it means that the Cerne Abbas Giant is medieval or early medieval Anglo-Saxon, not prehistoric, not Roman, not 16th century, 17th century.
I mean, it could say it's like what the Holy Spirit looked like when it visited Mary. I mean,
You've said it, so it's true. We're just making history in this podcast. It's making things happen. If we say it, it's the way it was.
wow. I was not expecting this to be in England.
We're very prim and proper.
That is impressive. I mean, and what's the point of the giant crooked club? I mean, because you got to admit, this looks like a 6-year-old did it, in a way. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
and the
I
club.
would say we don't know. I mean, now it's under short grass and it's cut white. We don't know if originally there were bushes and there were other features that augmented it. You know, we assume.
Okay.
You know, it's
So-
like many things with art and art. You know, we assume the way it's come down to us is the way it originally was. I mean, I don't know. All I would say
Yeah.
is it's unique, and there are
It's definitely unique.
If it's Hercules that's adapted into St Ethwold, it's certainly got no parallels. So it's crazy, but it's famous.
Now, what is directly above it? Because maybe that's new, but on the side, like when you're looking
There
at
is
the
a small
picture,
fortification of unknown date called the Trendle, and that's
Okay.
part of the problem. Is if we knew what that was, maybe we'd understand
it
something
would give
more
us
about
a
the
keep.
giant. but we don't
Okay.
know. It could be an Iron Age. It could be a little walled garden from the associated with the late medieval priory. There's all manner of guesses.
Okay. Now, has that been excavated? And then there's just no
Don't
information?
believe
Okay. So that's just one of those things that's on the list for.
Yeah, it's on a list.
people
it's a
like
protected
you.
monument, but no one's got around to doing anything with it.
And that's probably because of finances, most likely.
Absolutely.
That's typically the story.